I have something to say about myself deceased. I just cleaned up a dead cockroach and some hair on the floor that I don't really say that it belongs to someone else, like who, because I'm the one that's in here. But when my hair comes out, it comes out in a comb or it comes out in the shower. And I found it out here on the floor, somewhere near the closet TV area. Yes, they're close together. The closet and the TV are relatively close together. So I picked up some hair with a broom and a dustpan, and I also picked up the cockroach that was laying on its back dead, and I swept them up in the dustpan with the broom, and I walked them outside and dumped them outside. And I had to remove the hair from the broom with my hand, but the cockroach just comes right off the broom and comes off the dustpan. So the hair was more trouble than the cockroach, but the cockroach is what made me clean up the hair. I had the broom anyway, I had the dustpan anyway, so I cleaned up the hair. Otherwise, I would have left the hair there. If it's my hair, I guess I don't mind, but I don't really like my hair right now. I used to have normal hair, and then for the past several months, I've had the hair be turned dry and brittle on me. And it's not really improved with hair products because I don't have any that I really need. I don't have any hair products recommended by a hairdresser that I could use. I don't have money for that right now. I'm just very old and I'm going to die. So I don't have that I can take care of that. I don't like my hair right now because it's dry. I would like to shave it all off, but I can't because I'm making YouTube videos and I need my hair to look like it's normal, or at least when it's wet. I like it wet. I can say that. I do like my hair when it's wet. I don't like it when it's doesn't have tap water in my hair. When it's dry, I don't like it. Right now, I have tap water in my hair from the shower, and it's fine. So what I want to say about the dead cockroach is I found it near the air conditioning and heating unit that was newly installed into the wall. Somebody cut a hole in the wall and installed an air conditioning and heating unit I didn't need because the central air was working. The central air needed was maintenance to look after the battery for me because it needs the batteries to be changed when it goes off, like when the battery runs out, it goes off. So I need the batteries changed for that. And the maintenance didn't want to change the battery. They took the air conditioning and heating central air thermostat off the wall and covered up the vents with some boards. And then they cut a hole in the wall and installed an air conditioning and heating unit in 2 walls of the apartment. And then Charles Toe moved out. And I wanted to move out myself and I wanted to live someplace else. But I've been charged rent and I'm not allowed to be here, and I've not been given another place to live that I would want to live in for the amount of rent money that's been paid, because it's not been paid for myself. It's been confiscated and paid for some other reasons. And they just let me stay here by bringing me food and say I can stay here. And I don't know why it's alive that way. I'm hoping I'll get something out of it in deceasement, because that went on a long time for me to be just taken care of by people I don't trust. I realize that went on with the Mosers as well. But I just don't know why the Mosers are still alive and I'm being fed additionally other landlords. And I realize you don't know who I am, but I know who I am. And I know I am myself. And I am myself to myself always, ever, eternally. And I don't need that you don't know who I am is myself living in squalor. That I am a squatter in an apartment, that I don't have what I need for myself daily, that I'm comfortable daily. I don't have that I'm comfortable daily. I have that I'm being supervised, that you don't afford my mental capacity to speak, but you give me food. And sometimes you ask me what kind of food I want. Like I'm a prisoner and I'm going to have my last meal, and you're asking me what I like before I get electrocuted with food in my stomach. I would know to turn down the food if I was going to be electrocuted so that I would die. I don't want to be electrocuted with food in my stomach and I wouldn't die. I need to die of electrocution if that's the case. If I was in a prison with a deceased address and I was about to be seated in an electric chair, I'm not going to eat food before that if they offer it to me, because I need to die in the electric chair. And that would be another way that I would order a death on myself. But I'm not due to be offered food that way. That's true that I might not die in the electric chair, but the food won't help or hurt me. That's really indifferent on the part of the other people in the prison. Well, I don't actually want to be in a prison with you because you don't understand that about itself. So why are you offering me food when you really don't want me to speak? You wouldn't give me the money if I wanted to pay for the food myself, and you wouldn't give me any of the conditions that I would order for myself, which is that I live alone in my own house and I park a 2-car garage empty and I walk everywhere and take the bus anywhere I want, and I don't need you. I don't know why you wouldn't let me have that in myself alive. I'm the one who's aliving the whole world for you. How do you just say to yourself, well, we're not going to alive again anyway, if that's how it results at the end of it all? I mean, are you just not going to hold yourself responsible for anything of the last 45 years of myself's existence here and alive of the formed world? Are you just going to dismiss it all? Each and every one of you? Who are you? What is a creator eight, and who are you that you're going to dismiss everything about your life and say to yourself in front of God, oh, you're not going to alive me again because you're angry? You weren't going to alive me again anyway because you were already angry before I did something wrong that you're about to talk about here. That's what you would say to me. I would be approximately willing to hear it because I am about to be that angry right here. I'm about to say that I am the one you will speak with in the afterlife. And I do know that's what you're going to say to me. And I am going to tell you that that's not paid for by you. You're going to put yourselves in suffering because I am the creator that ascends to go up into the creation. But of course, I will rest before I do that. I don't want to talk about that now because I owe that I decease myself out of this Godhead before I am a creator myself. And there is no such thing as that I would go from a Godhead into the creator and that I would move the creation as the top of the Godhead at the top of creator. It's also true. I'm the top of the creator is also myself. And I don't have any plans to go all the way up there and move the creation because I'm angry right now, but you don't speak English. There's something wrong with me having to say that. You don't understand that you don't speak English. You still keep threatening me that you speak English to myself because you are threatening me physically, that everything I need moves away from myself if I don't give you everything exactly as I want to be treated by you, that I will treat you that way. And sorry about that. That's the camera, and it's charging right now. I have to charge it because the battery was too low for me to set it down on the table. So I can't actually go up to the creator of myself and start moving the creation when I'm this angry. I can't because I still don't have this body solved. There's a few ways I'm going to rest out of this body. I'm going to rest that I need to be in eternity for a while. And then I have some other things. I have other parts of myself besides that. I've been here for 45 years, which is too much to spend with this one part of myself. The other parts of myself know that I'm here at this point, and they're not supposed to know that. That's not their problem until something went really wrong in my life here. And other parts of myself know that. And you are an embarrassment to yourself. They're about to know that about you, that you don't believe in me or believe in anything beyond myself that would be disturbed by what you are. to yourselves and what you are to myself, because I am moving everything around myself and I look like this. I just cleaned up a dead cockroach. I couldn't call the police on that they caused a cockroach in my apartment. They are just as dangerous here on the call as if I clean up the cockroach myself. And it's true that you don't care about the cockroach. You care about that you're not a harassment to yourself. And you just want that you just believe in that. That's why the police just leave after they're done with the call. They'll give you maybe about 15 minutes and then they leave in their cars. And I use them for that. I don't break the boundaries of the police. I understand those are their boundaries. They are carrying the guns. But I have problems that the police need to call somebody else for me because they have guns, and get them to come here and do things so that they don't get called by me, because I don't actually owe them the call. And they don't understand that. They just leave with their guns, and their guns aren't fully paid for that way. And I just cleaned up a dead cockroach, and I'm none higher than me deceased. Does anybody anywhere else in myself, the other parts of myself that are not in this world, and they are not exactly myself being created here, they're not moving, they're not the formed world here, but they're elsewhere. And do they know you, and do you know them? And do you understand that I just cleaned up a dead cockroach? You can't afford that about me. I am an order, and that's what an order would do, as in I am the order, that's what I did, but I can't afford that you asked me to do that. If there was a president of the United States and there was a dead cockroach in the White House, the Secret Service would clean it up before the president would. And I don't have that much security on myself. You don't understand what's wrong with that. The president's due in prison anyway, but he still has that much around himself. Should I don't say a cockroach, like the president wouldn't have a cockroach problem? He has dogs and cats. The president has, what's the cat's name? Boots? Socks. Yeah, the President Clinton's White House cat was named Socks. And then there's Barney, which is President Bush's dog. So who's taking care of the animals in the White House? Oh, let's get to Barack Obama's Bo, the black Portuguese water dog with some white markings on it. Yes. It is being taken care of by who? Because the dog gets walked, and the other animals in the White House are not taken care of by the president, right? They're taken care of by other. So you have some chain of command of who's looking after the animals, and I don't have anyone looking after me like that. No, what, you want something out of me that an animal can't give you. Yep. And you have something wrong with you because you do that to me. I'm not the same anymore. Well, when I was afraid, not really afraid, but really I refused to come down here a number of times. When I finally had to come because it was my leverage to be here for the other things I said no to, I was treated so badly that I don't come in reverse. And you're not getting the credit that I've ever been here. I can't help you with that. I am going all the way up to the Creator, and I am going to move it, which means I am nothing, but I have to decease myself at the top of the Creator. I can't decease myself altogether here. I can do some of it, but I can't use sin so much. I can't solve it with this body. No, you were angry with the body itself, and then that means that you only go so far as you see the body, and then you don't understand yourself after that. And I am ascended all the way up to the top of the Creator with that leverage, and you made it that way. I didn't come as God to test you. I died, and I died. It's not accident, but I died, and from yourselves alive, that's yourself as well. That I died, that is yourself being here, is I died. You are here that way. That is you alive that way. And it's just as far as I can go in this body, and then I go up to the Creator, and then you have problems with that. I'm up there, but then I was here is going to be in your leverage. That means you said no to me is yourself elsewhere's, that you said no to me and you recorded it, and I'm aware of that as the creator. There's nothing I don't see. Okay. It didn't come all the way off in one. It's like turning around. So that's what's wrong with the cap here. Okay, I did just open that myself that much, and this didn't open here. I have to use a second. Okay, I can pull it off this way. Nobody knows if that's going to happen or not. Every bottle is different, right? And I found that you don't understand me that way. You don't understand that I'm not finished with myself when you start talking to me with yourself. You're talking, which means you're traveling, walking, and you have something to say about that you moved your body from here to there with walking. That's what talking is. I can afford lightly some of the talking, but that is just me being lenient. I really don't afford that you speak to me at all because I'm the order that holds the formed world informed. And you still want to talk to me about myself. And it's not true that I speak for all of myself when I speak with my mouth is just small. It's just this big. And my whole self is the omnipresence of God informed here. And then I'm also the omnipresence of myself eternal. I'm also that right here. And I don't appreciate that you talk to me because you're just making sure that I don't die of being myself. That's not true that you would even love me that much. It's true that you only talk to me with yourselves about yourselves. And you're formed as shunts, but you lowered yourself below what a shunt is. You don't hold alive as a shunt, you hold alive as a murderer. And there's no reason for me to say that to the camera except for that it's true. You murder people and you do or don't know it. You're very unsanitary. You're dangerous to myself and others, and you call me dangerous to yourselves and others. You don't know not to say that to me or about me yet because I'm dangerous is not here. I'm not dangerous to you here. I'm dangerous to you if I'm in the top of the creator, and that's due because it's due to be dangerous because you're dangerous to me. I know you want to make a police report because I just said the word dangerous. You don't want to look it up in the dictionary and find out that you shouldn't repeat what you read to anyone else. I'm sure the police can find this on the internet. You don't have to call them. If the police are looking for themselves, the police can go to jails and prisons because they're dangerous. They don't have to look for me because I have an arrogance problem. I'm not arrogant. I am none higher than me, deceased. And I'm not responsible. I am myself eternal. And I'm not going to change ever. You're in a position of needing to know why I don't know you. And that's because you are accusing me of everything that's wrong with you when you don't know how to be yourself. You have a sky-high mental capacity to know how to really cause upheaval in my life. And you don't realize that you're doing that until you know that you're making a speech offense in front of me. And then you don't know what to do once you've made a speech offense. And I do know what you should do. That's you need to call the police and make a speech offense to the dispatcher and watch how they don't leave their desk to come and check your address. That's why you can't make a speech offense to myself.